My novel, Child of the Hive, will be published on the 24th of September 2009. So I'm introducing the book by reading a few extracts. In this extract, the character Rachel tries to get noticed. Rachel stood in the corridor, clutching a pile of folders and a port comp, and knowing that if this took much longer, she'd just turn and run. Any minute now he'd be coming out of his office, and she'd say hi, and they'd talk. Hopefully. The pile in her arms was so that he'd know she had business up here, and wasn't just hanging around on the off chance he'd speak to her. Rachel wondered if she should have put some makeup on. She'd never really worn it, and would probably put on too much and end up looking like a clown. 22 was possibly a little late to start experimenting. Maybe she should have borrowed the hair straighteners the girls in tech support had offered. A ponytail was practical, but it was hardly a style that would grab a guy's attention. She shifted the folders in slightly sweaty hands and tried not to look nervous. She didn't want to embarrass herself in front of him. Andrew Marden. Less than a year older than her, and already he was in command of one of the field teams. A body toned by gym sessions and combat training, he carried himself with the air of supreme confidence that came from knowing how to use pretty much any weapon he could lay his hands on. Plus he was able to fight in half a dozen styles. That was probably a slight exaggeration, but she'd seen him sparring, and while she knew nothing about martial arts, she knew that she liked the look of Andrew practising. And he wasn't like the other grunts, barely speaking to the science and support staff, coarse and vulgar in their words and actions. Andrew was nice. He always smiled at her, and he was happy to talk to anyone. And that smile, and those eyes, tall, dark and handsome by anyone's standards. His door opened, and Rachel was casually walking down the corridor, casually noticing that he was there, and casually saying, "Oh, hi, Andrew." "Sorry, Rachel, I'm in a rush, I can't talk now." And he was gone, heading off at full speed down the corridor. Maybe a bit too casual there. This couldn't be good. But he probably was busy, what with the competition and all. It wasn't like he was purposely avoiding her. Just like it hadn't been his fault when he was called away for a meeting, just when she'd finally worked up the courage to sit at the same table as him in the mess. At least he knew her name. That had to be a good sign, right?